when the radio played our song. It was the kind of cold that crept into your bones and made your memories feel heavier than usual. Maggie sat alone in her rusted Ford truck, parked outside the grocery store, her hands wrapped around a cup of lukewarm coffee she could barely afford. At 67, life hadn't turned out the way she thought it would. Her husband, Tom, had passed 2 winters ago, and the tiny town of Willow Creek had grown quieter since. Still, every Thursday morning, she made the same trip into town, just like she used to when Tom was alive. A habit, maybe. Or perhaps a hope. She reached forward and turned on the radio. The static crackled for a moment, then the melody filled the cabin like a gentle tide. A familiar guitar intro, soft piano keys, and then, that voice. Her heart stilled. It was their song. Blue Skies After Rain. The very same that played on the old jukebox the night Tom proposed at Murphy's Diner in 1976. Maggie's breath caught as the lyrics poured in, delicate as lace, carrying with them the scent of vanilla milkshakes, the feel of his warm hand over hers, the joy of 2 kids in love without a clue how tough the world could be. Tears welled up. She hadn't heard that song in years. Suddenly, someone knocked on the driver's window, startling her. She wiped her eyes quickly and turned. A young man stood there, maybe 20, with shaggy brown hair and eyes too kind for someone so young. He held up a mittened hand in apology. Maggie rolled the window down a crack. "Sorry, ma'am," he said, his voice trembling from the cold. "I'm not looking for money or anything. Just, do you know if there's a shelter around here that's still open?" Maggie looked at him, really looked. His cheeks were flushed red, and his coat was too thin. A worn duffel bag sat at his feet. She thought about the 2 extra blankets on her back seat, the soup thermos she'd packed just in case, and the song still playing faintly behind them. She didn't know why she said it. Maybe it was the song. Maybe it was Tom. "There's not much in town," she replied gently, "but if you're not dangerous, I could offer a warm bowl of soup. Just for a while. It's freezing out." The boy blinked, surprised. Then he smiled, not the sly smile of someone taking advantage, but a tired, grateful one. "Thank you," he whispered. "I'm Jamie." "Maggie," she said, unlocking the door. "Get in before you turn to ice." They drove in silence for a while, save for the hum of the radio. Jamie kept glancing at her like he couldn't believe this was real. Maggie remembered the way Tom used to pull in strangers on holidays, a family stranded by a snowstorm, a kid hitchhiking home. "You don't need to save the world," he used to say. "Just be someone's warm place when they need it." At the house, Maggie ladled out hot vegetable soup and made grilled cheese sandwiches. Jamie devoured it like someone who hadn't eaten properly in days. Between bites, he told her he'd left a troubled home out west. His mother was gone. His father drank. He'd come east looking for work, but the jobs had dried up, and the cold had chased him south. Maggie listened, nodding, offering no judgment. Just warmth. Later, as he curled up on the couch with one of her old quilts, she handed him a cup of tea. The radio played softly in the background. Jamie looked up. "That song earlier," he said. "The one that was playing when we met. It was beautiful." Maggie smiled. "It was the song my husband and I danced to the night we got engaged. We didn't have much money. Just dreams and a beat-up Chevy. But he made me feel like the richest girl in the world." Jamie looked down. "I've never had that. I mean, not the love part. Or the dreams." She placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "It's not too late, Jamie. People think dreams expire. But sometimes they just need shelter." That night, Maggie pulled out a dusty guitar from the closet. She hadn't played it in years, but her fingers still remembered the chords. Tom had taught her. Jamie listened, wide-eyed, as she played "Blue Skies After Rain." His eyes brimmed with tears. "You should keep that," she said, handing him the guitar the next morning. He stared. I can't. You can, she interrupted, smiling. And you will. Over the next few weeks, Jamie stayed in the spare room. Maggie helped him apply for jobs, made sure he ate, and encouraged him to play. He'd sit on the porch at sunset, strumming softly, his voice gaining confidence with each passing day. One evening, he played for the local church fundraiser. The crowd fell silent when he began to sing, and exploded in applause when he finished. A month later, a talent scout passing through Willow Creek heard him and offered to help record a demo in the city. Jamie was stunned. Maggie wasn't. See, she said, squeezing his hand. Even broken strings can play something beautiful. The day he left, they stood by the old Ford, and Jamie hugged her tight. You saved my life, he whispered. No, Maggie replied, her eyes shining. I just played the radio. Years later, Maggie sat in that same truck, now older and even rustier, listening to a new voice on the radio, Jamie's. He'd made it. His song, a new one, but with a familiar melody, was climbing the charts. He called it Shelter. And right before the final chorus, he spoke into the track. For the woman who reminded me that kindness can change a life. This one's for you, Maggie. Maggie closed her eyes, the snow gently falling outside, and smiled. In a world that often felt too fast and too cold, she'd offered a moment of warmth. And it had echoed farther than she ever imagined. Because sometimes, when the radio plays your song, it's not just a memory, it's a beginning. And kindness? It's the chorus that keeps playing long after the music fades.